How's it going, everybody? It's Man Tomorrow here. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Thank you guys for coming through. Thank you for still supporting the channel, still being on your self improvement thing that doesn't involve access to failed dudes out here. I just wanted to welcome y'all to the show. Now, I actually want to do this stream in a specific sort of way because somebody asked a question and I think it deserves an answer. So, first of all, hit the poll. Which is the worst Bravo Alpha November? So far, we have a tie between the Gen X Alpha Novembers and the Boomer Alpha Novembers. I'm not sure because we're not old enough to hand stuff down as Generation X. I don't even know why we even up there. But hey, a poll's a poll. We'll just see where we at. Not a big deal. So, as I was talking to a person through an email, he asked a specific question. What lessons do you think people didn't learn? Because I call the 50-year time period from the 1970s to at least 2020. That is enough data to see that being a street dude didn't work. That is enough data to see that trying to chase after certain type of women, that didn't work. It's enough data showing that connecting yourself to the entertainment piece, that didn't work. A whole bunch of things didn't work. And now, just like those people in 1970 with their Goldie the Mac esque type of behavior patterns, they thought that they was going to be able to run things, and they ran it straight into the ground. Why? They didn't take the lessons away from the actual experience that they should have. Because right now, clearly, nobody really should be losing all that much. Yeah, so get a shout out to people in the chat real quick. What's going on? Genesville, Bishop, Yamon Perry, Ron Matthews, Rage Machine, Dorian. All right. All right, man. So let's get into it. All right. For me, then the 1970s to 2020, see, I grew up in a two-parent household. And I'm talking about strong father figure, strong mother figure who actually gave a damn about the actual outcomes of what was being created within that household, which seems to be a far cry from what we have today. Strong grandparent parental figures as well, which is also a far cry from what there was when I was growing up. Now you have the grandparents of these current people who are here now, who is no better than the actual kids are right now, because they try to be friends with their kids rather than put their kids onto actual paths of success. Now, the immigrants learned this a long time ago. They came over here working for minimum wage, working a gang of hours at minimum wage, but for the most part, they produce successful offspring that went on to actually participate in society in ways that we still wasn't. So men didn't learn about that. They didn't learn anything from that. Another thing that these people didn't learn was negotiating with women that didn't give a damn about you. I mean, the three-letter Ipmore guy posted videos from the 1970s showing that the woman did not want the power. She did not want to lead the family. She didn't want any of this shit. But for the weak ass men who actually had access to her, they put her in a position so that way she could be able to lead anyway. because most of these things that these men did not want to do, they did not want to participate in society. And they actually thought that anybody participating in the society was people who should be looked down upon. These are the people hanging out on the corner. These are the people who didn't join the military, who didn't go to school, who didn't go get a job, who thought that their primary job was to seed all the women within the environment and put them on a path to abject failure, and then have the men come back and clean up after their mess so that way we can be in this world of shit over and over again. That's one thing that we got wrong. Now, people right now are stepping off. I think stepping off is a good thing because at the end of the day, if the women decided to change the trajectory of the family by simply moving on to the type of men that they can easily control, you ought to take a page out of their book. You ought to take a page out of their book because we now know another lesson that people didn't learn. Learning all this information about women that you shouldn't be dating doesn't lead to anything. Like most of the like cool uncles and stuff that used to be trapped in these communities, these cool uncles are now on the internet talking about game and all that type of shit. And like cool uncles, they always dodge the productivity based conversation. Everything is about a woman and how she treats you. Everything is about that. Not the character, not the quality, not the upbringing, not the culture, none of that shit. You're supposed to just walk in, put your balls on the table, and however she treats you or respects you is how actually things should go. Again, these failed men, their only skill is burning down their own community. Their skill is not going from their actual baseline setup to something greater. Because at the end of the day, they are destroyers. And you have to understand that if you are the demolition crew, you have nothing else in common with anyone else. You don't have anything in common with anything else. And it's not like these people don't know that they've been left behind. They know that they've been left behind. They went to school, whether they graduated or not. They know that people did way better than them. Do they acknowledge those individuals? Hell no, they don't acknowledge those individuals. They treat those individuals like they don't even exist. So another lesson that people didn't learn from that 50-year time period. What's going on, Uncle Stu, old man on the block? Thanks for the follow, super chat. So what people didn't learn from that actual time period was that even though you created a class of failure, that class of failure wasn't supposed to be something that was supposed to be looked up to. But slowly but surely, that became the actual model that most of the men left around these kids they actually looked up to. So most of men's actual behavior model is nothing but bitch ass nigga related stuff. It's nothing but that. And just like the people before them created a lost generation with them, they're trying to carry on what's going on around our song. It's going on Rod Spice. What they're trying to do now is they're trying to carry on the legacy of creating more failed men. And how they're actually doing that is they're using the woman as an actual focal point to do that. Now, most of these dudes, I'm talking about most of them. There are some people who were married actually before they had an actual kid with the actual woman, got divorced, whatever, whatever. That's not the grand majority of people. What's going on, Derek McKinney? The grand majority of people just pretty much just picked up a javelin and tried to poach a woman off the carousel by intentionally getting her pregnant so that way she can be able to leave the field and settle down with them. And when that didn't work, They wanted to blame the entire planet for it, when the entire planet knew to stay away from these women, period. Now, what they don't understand is the woman's play was always protected by the government, but their play was never protected. And most of these people who complain about this child support shit, like, they don't want to pay anything, right? But you knew through other women and men throughout the same environment that you wasn't supposed to be engaged in this type of nonsense. You knew that you wasn't supposed to be engaged in this type of nonsense, but you did it anyway. Why? Because most of the people that you looked up to were people in these same circumstances. Like me, I didn't know these people in high school who was hanging out, smoking weed and all this kind of shit. I didn't even know them dudes were losers until I got out of high school and moved on to like the military and shit. And that's when I stopped seeing these people around. But then again, you start running into other, same type of individuals who tried to embody the previous environment when they went to a new one. So another lesson that people didn't learn was that you were supposed to leave that hood shit in the hood. You're supposed to get out there and compete with the greater members of society. You weren't supposed to bring that bullshit with you. Just like how whites left those lower class whites on that Homestead Act land that they got for free from the federal government. Once those people moved to the suburbs and shit, like, they really didn't hang out with those people anymore. They didn't bring those people around anymore. And I'm not sure if you were paying attention. If you see some of those people who live out in the middle of nowhere, when they come to visit their family members in the actual suburbs, they treat them the same way that these lower class blacks treat people who actually got their stuff together at these family gatherings. They try to assert how they're more masculine, how they're more whatever, when the actual scorecard, which is where you live at and who you live around, clearly says that you're not even above that. That's another lesson that people didn't learn. Leave those people in the hood. If they haven't risen above that, don't try to go down there and team up with them. Those people are cannibals and they are destroyers. And it was pretty much an embarrassment to be around those people outside of the family holidays and stuff. And we should have learned that lesson from those people. But those people who was left within those environments, they deeply wanted to be the voice of all men. They deeply wanted to be that. Rather than deal with the women that made them them, we should have moved on to different women who didn't even associate with these type of dudes a long time ago. Because I tell you this, my conservative upbringing had nothing to do with waiting on liberal women. My conservative upbringing taught me to go to the best possible mate that I possibly could, not the best shade of brown or dark brown that I possibly could. That's that. I was never attracted to those circumstances, and there was not a single person on the planet that could make me feel bad about having a piece of these discarded women that they even discarded, that they don't even care about themselves. Another lesson people didn't learn was that you had to hire professionals when you got in business. Yes, as long as your business is not entertainment or food related, yes, you have to deal with professionals. So that way, because these older people within the environment, they know how to spot talent. They know how to spot people who are on the come up. They know how to spot that. But see, they planted the seeds within their youth that the older individuals are not to be left behind. The moment you get on, you're supposed to put them on. Now, They didn't hand anything down to the youth so that way they could put the youth on. So the youth was, preceded with this idea that they are to save grown ass men and women once they start to get live. I'm talking about barely productive. I'm talking about 15, $16 an hour, and they would be put up on the actual ability to take care of grown ass adults. It ain't just me. I know it happened to somebody else other than me. Another lesson that we didn't learn was to run all the way to the finish line and build stronger boundaries so that way these people's behavior don't really affect you all that much. Email after email I get from individuals, the moment they have a little bit of success, they trying to spread this story amongst the people that they quote unquote left behind. A kind of a successful remorse, if you will. Thinking that the good parts of you and the work that you put in was going to rub off on these individuals that you left within those communities. Absolutely not. Those people wanted the results of what you did. They didn't want to put in the work that you did. Now imagine now, you can see now several different generations of stagnant men coming online to talk about relationships, stagnant men online trying to cover anything else but progress. They have to follow the news cycle. They have to keep you distracted with nonsense because they cannot possibly compete in a world that has to do with substance. We're talking grown ass men here. We're talking about dudes who teach at colleges here in this space, so called PhDs with no side taken. Now we see. Now, what lesson that we didn't learn, another lesson along with that, is that most of these people were running interference for the conservative movement. I'm talking about the conservative movement that they're not really a part of because they're trying to conserve the environment with black people being at the bottom. And what you do if you want black people at the bottom, you cover bullshit and nonsense and you run interference for the Republican Party currently. You talk about women, but then again, you turn around and you claim that you're conservative because of the outcomes of black society. When you can dodge the outcomes of black society, the only thing you have to do is dodge the actual family destroying woman who created this actual process in the first place, along with the man who partnered up with her to help her destroy the environment itself. But they didn't want to do that. They wanted to screw up everything and then just point at the woman and make her responsible for everything that they decide to get into. They decided to outsource the responsibility for the outcome to the woman that they tried to use game on to poach off the carousel. That's another lesson that we didn't learn. It's called Marshall. That's a lesson that people didn't learn. Like, especially with this political thing, dude, if you watch a lot of TV from the 70's, which I do, news and otherwise, you seen how these people argued. It was literally the same thing that you see Thomas Sowell and most of these conservatives doing now. They're just gaslighting black black people to their face and not really providing any progress at all. Not really talking about any substance at all. Not really talking about any laws at all. And I'm not saying not be a conservative. I'm saying while you are a conservative, You had better be fighting for something for all of us while your ass is over there. Because we know we definitely getting shit over here on our side. Another lesson that we didn't learn was that a lot of people just gave up. They thought that, look, if I don't get reparations, I'm not going to do shit with my life. And I'm going to blame the government for it. That's a plan that didn't work. That plan did not work at all. It actually makes my stomach turn whenever I see one of these interference running platforms for the conservative movement. You know, the people who are not on the left, they're apparently not on the right, they're apparently in the middle, but they always attack the left all the time, misleading people in this concentric circle, and there's really no pathway forward. There's really no political organizing. There's really no political participation. There's really no discussion of the actual issues outside of trying to troll or throw one administration under a bus or the other. Yeah, you can see that now. You can see that these people wanted to outsource this to just the Democratic Party. They know they can't ask the Republicans for shit. Oh, I didn't see that debate rage machine. I didn't see that. I didn't see that. There's really no need to listen to Candace Owens. Once you've heard one speech, you've heard them all from her. Yeah, she don't talk about policy or anything else. She can't. She is literally playing a character actor on TV. That's all. And once you figure out that this is nothing but a character actor, method actor, conservative, that never talks about policy but had their mouth open about all these cultural issues, it's just no reason to listen to them. And you got to understand that a lot of these people hate the fact of progress. They hate progress. They hate it so much that they came into the black manosphere so that way they can be a superstar based off of our problems. They want to be like Jim Brown or Goldie the Mac or any of these other people who really didn't put that much work in. Say it again, Vito Bino. But they protect themselves from progress by intentionally not knowing how things work. Yeah, they protect themselves from progress by not knowing how things work and not understanding that there is a clear solution for all of these things. It's called participation. They understand it when it comes to sports, but they don't understand it when it comes to real things that they really can be a part of. But this is intentional because the intent is to lead these people in concentric circles. The 42 years in the desert from the Bible. That is very true, Runner Unsung. I will explain what you're actually talking about. They want to go back to pre 1965, where it was harder to vote, it was harder to participate, and they had legitimate complaints. But those complaints can never be turned into action because you couldn't participate in the process at the time. That's what they want to go back to. And that's what these actual overnight live streams are about. These overnight live streams are about pre 1964 error level of getting things done. Okay, you talk a whole bunch of shit, you don't participate, you don't take sides, you waste a whole bunch of time, but guess what? They got a lot of time to fill. If you're not going to participate or take any meaningful action, do you know how much time you have on your hands? You literally have the whole earth of time on your hands if you're not going to take any legitimate action. But that's the thing, running on son. They protect themselves from the history by deliberately not knowing it. But they know they can nearly go around 95% of black people and they will actually be able to survive. Until you run into that 5% of black people that you're not going to be able to talk that shit in front of. You're not going to be able to do this running interference on the right shit around people who know what's going on. But they dodge the responsibility of learning the history. They have all these things to do during the day, but they never learn about the simplistic history. So that way you can stop being led in circles by people that you don't know and things that you do chase down. Another lesson. Another lesson that people did not realize was that you were supposed to get started without caring about the community. You were supposed to get started and not give a fuck about nobody who did not who was not there to help you build it. You was not supposed to care about those people. Those people's complaints were never supposed to be a part of mentally getting to you at all. My grandfather said up front, if they ain't there while you build it, they're not gonna be there once it's get done being built. You close that door hard as fuck in their face and you listen to those screams from the other side of the door. Those are not your people. Your people would have been beside you the entire time trying to help you get this thing off the ground. Your people isn't the people who come around once it's already built. Those are your enemies. Those are saboteurs. Those people are trying to come through and destroy what you actually built. Because the whole point is to destroy anything that resembles progress. That's their actual job. He said especially the women, but it was most of the men too. Bishop, don't even worry about Umar. At the end of the day, if he's saying that people should stay, then he has to provide those options for men to stay. But you have to understand that the bitch ass nigga is the baseline level of how people think. Given this half ass effort of trying to protect women for the consequences that they chose is a very high position point within the society. Regardless of the manosphere, a lot of people think that shit. They do. Yeah, I don't worry about him. You know, another lesson that we didn't learn. Another lesson that we did not learn. Getting to the money. We didn't learn that lesson about getting to the money. You want to know why? A lot of people want to get into the money as long as they can be able to destroy the environment and make a profit margin off that. That's the only type of productivity that they wanted. As long as it was easy, something that anyone can do, and something that required no real work and no real competition. You got immigrants who come here and get to the money. They're not even worried about who's losing. They're not even worried about who's losing in their own household. They're not even worried about who's losing in their own family. They're not even worried. These people are no smarter than you. They just know how to play the game better than you do. But see, what most of these people have a problem with, they have a problem following simplistic ass directions. Why? They spent a lot of time not participating. So, in order to make all the time count that they never participated in the process, they deliberately don't go for the actual solution so that way they can move forward. Because guess what? You have a lot of friends at the bottom. You have a lot of friends at the bottom. You're supposed to have a lot of friends at the bottom. Why? Nothing's at stake at the bottom. This is why you have a lot of people who want to be around other people who are at the bottom. They really can't survive on their own. They can only survive if they can hide their barely productive self around other people who are completely not productive itself either. A lesson that we actually did learn, and I don't think that it's a lesson that naturally happened, but I think it was something that was going to come on its own the moment technology got better. You're now seeing more cool uncles who got their shit together, who's around cool uncles that don't have their shit together. Because there's four different cool uncles, four of them. There is the person who stayed and the person who don't got their shit together. It's the person who stayed, the person who do have their shit together, but ain't trying to upset the apple cart of the actual environment so that way they can enjoy their barely productive gains in front of people who's never gonna get it. Then you have the cool uncle who left, got his shit together, and know how to move around these individuals when he come back through. That's the new cool uncle who's now coming back around these individuals. And the final one of these cool uncles is the dude who got his shit together, the dudes who stayed gone, the dudes who never came back, except for funerals and whatnot. That's the cool uncle that you don't see. But that's the cool uncle who's still cool with the other cool uncle who do go back. Now the previous two cool uncles is what's actually the manosphere trying to run off of. That's why there's so many individuals who are so-called productive who are actually attracted to these non-productive ass men who don't vote, who don't participate in society, who ain't really trying to educate people on shit, people who's trying to leverage this fake ass street credibility, all this dumb ass shit. That's part of the old cool uncle model. The new cool uncle model is I ain't fucking with these street motherfuckers. I'm gonna still have my money together. I'm not getting my finances or my connections hooked up with these dumbass dudes, and I'm gonna be around them for as little time as I possibly can, and I'm still gonna keep winning. That's the new era of the cool uncle. And this era was probably 2000 to 2010. But that's just a benefit of the world getting smaller. That's just a benefit of the world getting smaller. And each year, they're going to be less and less and less of these people to keep pulling this bullshit on. Because most of these people now, they're going to be getting to the money now. Call it what you want. I think it's a good idea that these dudes are not really dealing with these women like that in society. Now, I don't think that trying to want this woman outside of the condition that she's in is an actual solution either. I think they should be spending that time actually getting their money together and moving on to different people who actually respect them. But this online environment is an environment that preys on individuals, weaponizing their lack of fulfillment and turning it into dollars for themselves. This is where the actual medical community should still step in and make sure that these people are regulated somewhat when they're talking to people about this relationship shit. Because if you're giving out this bullshit ass information and you're not actually responsible for the information that you give out, you have an unindictable co-conspirator that's out there giving people bad information without even being held accountable for it. Now, most of these individuals who do this shit for real, they have to go to school. They have to be licensed, bonded, and insured, not dating coaches. They could just come through and give any whack ass, dumbass information and not be held responsible for it when people practice it. It's a problem. But at the end of the day, I think I was talking to Agon about it. Like, dude, if you really can't be true about your actual circumstances, you'll never get the help you need. You can never get the help you need unless you be completely honest about your circumstances. But the internet has actually gave people an actual platform for them to lie about their actual experiences in front of people who have no experience at all. Especially failed men in circumstances that don't nobody want to actually come to grips with. They don't even know how okay it is to not be with a fucking woman if you ain't got your shit together. They don't even know how okay that shit is. They don't understand that most of these people got in the circumstance that they was in because they was trying to get with somebody even though they knew that they didn't have the productivity piece right. They knew that. But a lot of these people push this relationship bullshit or this lack of ability to have sex within the environment like that's some shit to be proud of. That shit is not nothing to be proud of. There's plenty of people who got kids with a woman that they should have kept at a weekend situation. That's what most of these kids are born out of. Oopsie baby shit. There was no family planning involved here. Now that person has to grow up in an imbalanced society and environment because two people put themselves in a situation they ain't supposed to be in. I think now, from the early 2000s and those people who were stunting on all this bullshit and all these things that they was doing with rims and cars and loud music and all that kind of shit, we now see what kind of clown ass shit that was now. It's finally become out of style to be part of a gang. It's finally out of style to be part of a gang. It's finally out of style. Walking around with a child support uniform, ready to knock the head off the first motherfucker that you see because your life's fucked up. That shit is now out of style now. Finally, out of style. But a lot of these people want to be defined by the failures that they actually invested in. They wanted to invest in a failed system. A failed system that was not going to work. A failed system that they never seen succeed. Even the people that were looking up to were no further ahead in this system than they were. But did they be honest with themselves and even notice that shit? Nah, they didn't. So you have to understand that the people who cannot participate in society are the people who's trying to create the next another lost generation. It's not the woman. It's not the woman at all. These dudes are trying to create codependent men, codependent on bullshit, codependent on entertainment, codependent on bad women with bad outcomes. It's the men who's trying to create this codependency. And yes, it is their damn fault if they fall for this shit and they fall into this actual pitfall. It is their fault, not yours. And you should refuse to want to hear from people who have this type of bullshit going. Just because it's normal to them, it shouldn't be normal to you. Part of this grown up shit is knowing when to step off, knowing conversation that you don't want to have anymore. Hey man, look, that hard dick diplomacy shit don't fucking work, man. That hard dick diplomacy didn't work out for nobody. Nobody. It didn't work out for nobody. Nobody who tried it. Nobody. Didn't work. All the game in the world can't save your ass from a goddamn child support payment. And apparently they had enough game to not go get them a Walmart heiress. They only had enough game to get them a fucking woman that's gonna cause them a whole bunch of problems. So game is used to get low quality women. It always have been. It always will be. There's no real reason to talk to these individuals about none of that shit. We know what it is. We know what the results are. Another lesson that men didn't learn. You got to move to the money. You got to move to the money. Everybody's not going to be able to survive within the city for the whole portion of their life. Unless you live in a Philly or Chicago or Denver or New York or San Antonio or Austin or Dallas, multiple places in California, most capitals of states. Outside of that, you got to move to the money. You got to move to the money. Stand in a bad situation, stand in the minimum wage jobs, artificially putting yourself on hold, waiting on a person to get their act together. That's something that we did wrong. Nah, these people were maxed out. You knew that they were maxed out where they was, but you kept putting them on your team anyway. Again, not all this stuff is the fault of the circumstances in this environment. Most of this stuff and most of these complaints in this actual environment is a redirected anger, a coached and nourished redirected anger. Your anger is redirected from your actual productivity piece that you did not participate in. So now you redirected it onto out of pocket women. And how mad you supposed to be at your goddamn self, you're now mad at the fucking woman that could cause your ass a whole bunch of consequences. And here's the thing, you're not with the woman and you still fucking failing. As if the whole life was just gonna start popping the moment you got access to the problematic woman. So you put your whole life on hold for a situation and circumstance that you've never seen, that you never had access to, but you want access to it because you're already a failed man in your own right. So now, in order to not take responsibility for where you are, the only thing you need access to is this woman so that way you can give her another fucking kid. So that way you can complain about child support. So that way you can redirect your fucking anger about this woman and your lack of success in society and try to place that shit on child support. That's the problem. This shit is avoidable. You knew it was avoidable. But at the end of the day, you did not want to waste any of the time that you wasted in this want for this human being. You didn't want to move on. You didn't want to move forward. You wanted to stay behind. Rather than Lot's wife being turned into a pillar of salt, you turn yourself into a pillar of salt when you turned your ass around and went back for an individual that you shouldn't be taking with you. You turn your own self into a pillar of salt. You decide to take your ass back into Sodom and Gomorrah. You did that shit. She knew she was gonna find an option in dudes who wanted to deal with her. That doesn't mean that you had to deal with her. Say it again, adult supervision. And if I ever had that dude on, I am not gonna discuss that stupid shit that comes out of his mouth. I want to know about this damn school that he's got set up and what the future of that is. I really don't give a fuck about his private dealings of thinking what black men should do. Like, man, that's crazy. Again, we didn't learn the lesson. Following these fake ass older dudes. I'm talking about older dudes who got no accomplishments, no nothing. Prison scholars. You're not supposed to let prison scholars run your community. What the fuck is this, Oz? Nah, man, bro, listen, man. If you got all this information, you better be paid with the information that you got. I'm paid based off the information I got. That's the thing. You're not supposed to have these people running anything. But at the end of the day, if you're a natural intellectual, then you should be able to openly answer questions. Intellectuals don't run and hide. Intellectuals don't say, ask me anything at 3 o'clock in the morning and drop the link with nobody around. Intellectuals don't do stupid shit like that. Intellectuals don't duck conversations of substance. Intellectuals don't hide behind fake ass geopolitics. They don't do that. Say it again, Janitos Clutch. Say it again. That's why I don't even worry about it. Because if you dumb enough to stick around for the women that he wants you to actually be with, then that's on you. Yeah. You see, these people dodge the actual simplistic question. Okay, how long is this shit gonna take? How long is this going to take? How many more overnight live streams does it take before you actually put this stuff in action? How many times is black man's actual insecurities is going to be exploited for actual money before you actually move on to some other shit to talk about? How many times are you going to wear all these hats within the manosphere about shit you're not really interested in? Because successful men don't need fake leaders. Successful men don't need fake leaders at all. Because the moment you start taking tangible actions, that's when the fig leaf falls off. That's when they realize that your ass is naked out here. That's another thing, Uncle Stu. How can you be productive if you're online all night? Yeah, that's a very good question, very legitimate question. How can you be? But this is what happens when you don't conversate with people in your own peer group. You get away with a whole lot of shit. A whole lot of questions don't get asked. They don't. Because the whole point is to make sure none of this stuff works. Man, everybody ain't online all day. What are you talking about, bro? Nah. No, I mean, but Uncle Stu, they don't claim to be productive. They think productivity is a problem. They really and literally think that productivity is a problem. Getting your shit together is a problem. Not settling for the wrong type of woman is a problem. I mean, how many times did people come in this space with their standards of what women that they wanted to deal with, and you had three-letter Ipmore guy getting mad at motherfuckers who had standards of what the fuck they will and won't deal with. That dude would get absolutely upset and pissed off that you had standards, that you want to deal with the bottom barrel fucking women, so that way he can have a position over you. Yes, they're doing it on purpose. But this is currently where we at. 50 years, 1970 to 2020. They had 50 years to prove that their actual situation was going to work well. The only thing we got is a bunch of Goldie the Mac motherfuckers who think that they still the man right now. But that's currently where we at. Now, these individuals who stayed behind all this time, now they're going to be lapped by individuals getting to the money even faster than they are. What happens when a person get to the money faster than they can? What happens when a person get to a decent fucking woman that they don't need all this hard-headed bitch tech support for through dudes who not even messing with the type of women that he's trying to actually fucking put on you? What happens when you don't need any of that shit? Yeah, their whole business plan go up in smoke. K Dub, I don't know what you mean by Michael Irvin's current situation. I don't know what Michael Irvin's going through right now. You have to be more specific. I try not to keep up with these dudes like that, especially not that dude. The whole point is to make sure, yeah, we sure do, Bishop. Dude, we got rapping attorneys. Dude, we got like whack nigga attorneys who didn't quit life to come on here to talk about gossip. Like, bro, we got a lot of dumb shit going on around here. We got dudes who think showing your face is more important than providing actual substance. We got people showing their face, being on abject fucking bullshit, and thinking that it's more legitimate because they showed their face while saying stupid shit. Hey, that's on him, man. That's on him, K Dub. That's on him. That's on him. I am not here to help people with the issues and situations that they get in contact with these women that they actually meet. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Mars Lowell. That's the main reason why many of the younger generation don't respect old school because they dropped the ball in making society better. Very unfortunate indeed. Actually, it's worse than that, Mars Lowell. I don't think. I think that's part of the story. I don't think that's the whole story. I think that they know that these dudes dropped the ball, and these people keep trying to pretend like they are still leaders when they have no actual proof that they are leaders. And they keep trying to bullshit the youth when the youth see what success and they understand what success is. That's how the environment has moved. Like the environment has actually moved so fast that they now see the creation process of a failed man. They see the process of what happens when you make majoring in bitches, major bitches, as your actual contribution to society. You go invest into learning about the wrong type of woman and then try to escort men into those type of women. I think most people can see that shit now. I think most people can see through that shit now. How they have people in their high school pretty much on the same level that they are when they're 50 or 60 years old. Hell yeah, that'll make somebody mad as shit. Because real men don't like posers, man. Men don't like fucking posers, man. Men don't like men who are fucking posers. We can't stand that shit. We can't stand the motherfucker getting over through some type of fucking loophole or lying to motherfuckers and shit like that. Bro, listen, man, don't know actual fucking man like that type of shit. Because seeing people get over like that creates an actual background so that way everybody else can get over like that. Then all of a sudden nothing works. Why? Because everybody's trying to be on this bullshit, trying to push some type of nonsense around rather than doing stuff a proper way. This is why you got so many people since the KS shit talking about how they social media business managers and shit when they ain't nothing but bitch ass niggas who just want to come around and leverage the collective broken situation so that way they could just talk about bottom barrel shit. But they need to talk about this bullshit. Why? They don't fit in with regular society. They don't fit in with regular society. They can't even go nowhere and talk about this shit that they're talking about. They can't do it. They go somewhere outside of this manosphere shit, talking this crazy shit. Listen, man, people walk off from them. Think something wrong with them. This is probably the only place where you can get away with that shit. Trust me, they don't fit into the regular world, man. But that's where we at. All these lessons that people didn't learn, man, and they keep not learning them every day. They keep proving that they want to do shit their way, their way that has never worked. But they're trying to wrap up as many men that they possibly can into their failed situation. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to do this shit on purpose. The reason why they're trying to do it on purpose is because they don't fit in. As much as they try to make other people feel like they don't fit in anywhere else, they're the people who don't fit in anywhere. They know they don't fit in anywhere. They know their actual job positions and everywhere where they live in town and all this shit. It ain't got nothing to do with being relevant right now. They're here to create their own worldview that works. Well, that's why he probably got in trouble, K Dub, because he was a celebrity doing that shit. Yes, like Iman Perry, that's what you do. If somebody ruin your name like that, there is two types of things. One is a court of public opinion, and then there is a court of public record. If you got your money together, you put their ass on that paper every time. You got the money to do that? Put their ass on paper every time. They messing around with your credibility? Put their ass on paper every time. Trust me. They go through that shit a couple of times. They learn how to keep their mouth closed. They'll learn how to not misrepresent something. It don't take but one time you doing that shit. And once you do it one time, everybody know that you're a litigious dude and that you're gonna put them legalese on their ass and they know not to try you. They know it. Cause I tell you what, that trolling shit don't go over well when they start calling your ass by all three of your names and your ass is swearing in the courtroom. Don't nobody give a fuck about who you was trying to stun on for the internet. When you take your ass up there and you done dox somebody or did some stupid shit to somebody, and your ass is standing in front of the judge with this bullshit ass explanation, or worse yet, you don't even show up to court. Because a lot of people think that they can just show up and just try to Alex Jones their way through a goddamn court hearing. Yeah, man, that shit don't work like that. A court is about factual shit being asked a legitimate question, and you better give a legitimate answer. That's another lesson that we didn't learn. Somebody's on that bullshit with you, sue their ass in court. It was so bad, Ronan Unson, that the judge just told Alex Jones to shut the fuck up, basically. That's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, man, look. When the hat come off, man, serious business. But see, we don't have an actual a background in actually doing this shit. This is why people don't take it seriously all that much because of the people that we let talk for us. Yeah, put their ass on paper. Sue their ass for a bunch of money, watch them not show up, and start garnishing the motherfucking wages. Bro, I've done that shit so many times. So many times I've done that shit to people. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Not show up to court. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna use the address on your license. You know your address ain't up to speed. Fuck that. Put that motherfucker on that paper. And the same people who put you through that shit are the same people who are like, oh yeah, he ran to the law. Yeah, you goddamn right. The fuck am I supposed to do? Sit here and just let you do all your stupid shit? Like, nah, man. I need to drag you into a situation where you ain't got no goddamn protection. You ain't got to do it that many times, Marslow. You ain't got to do it that many times. especially if you're in the same city, especially if you use a high power law term. Yeah, hey, hey, that Cardi B shit worked, didn't it? It's all fun and games until they calling your ass by all three of your names. That's why I sit here. I don't dox nobody. I don't do none of that dumbass shit. I go with the arguments. My arguments are damn near irrefutable. And once you go behind and go doing all this dumbass shit, yeah, I got something for you. And you better hope I can get you in court, because I'm the type of motherfucker that plant dope on motherfuckers and get their ass locked up. I don't give a fuck. My level of vengeance is way, way, way more than your bullshit. Fuck that. I ain't taking no L's. Fuck that. But these people are trying to create another fucking lost generation so that way they can be able to have somebody to lead. It's no different than my older cousins who are 50 some years old who is trying to get me to be with women that I shouldn't fucking be with. Dude, it's the same shit. It's just online. Derek McKinnon shit. It's all fun and games till your ass gets served. Shit, I had your ass served at work. Shit, I send that shit straight to your fucking HR office. Have them give it to you. Have your ass come out. Yeah. That's what you do, man. Again, you gotta learn how to move out here, man. Learning how to move is really not that hard. I mean, Mars, but that's all these dudes can do right now. That's all they can do right now. And these women ain't even messing with them dudes. But they giving out all this bullshit ass information, man. They don't care. All right, man. So let's go down a couple of lists of things that you shouldn't be hearing right now. Nobody should be telling you about how they don't have a side pick within the political environment, especially with the things that are going on right now. I know most of you guys in the manosphere have student loans. They about to knock down this student loan debt relief shit. The same people who gonna cheer this student debt loan relief getting knocked down are the same individuals who stand by while corporations get tax cuts and not say shit about it. So again, there is no such thing as a fiscal fucking conservative. No such thing as that. Because when it comes to the military industrial complex, nobody tells the military industrial complex that they got to cut spending. The only person who wanted to do that shit was Colin Powell, and he was a so-called Republican. Especially when we gave the first PPP loans to like large corporations and shit. Nobody had a problem with large corporations stealing the first PPP loans. But the same dumbass motherfuckers are about to cheer on this student debt relief getting knocked down because somehow black women gonna be affected by it. Like that's some dumbass shit. It is. It really is. When they stole the first PPP loan and gave it to major corporations and shit that didn't need no help. Second thing, nobody's in the middle. If you're in the middle and you're still attacking the left, then your ass is not even participating. And it's okay not to participate. But if you don't participate, then shut the fuck up. It's not even that difficult. Like, listen, I don't watch soccer. I don't watch soccer at all. Why would I go to a place that I know is watching soccer, trying to tell people about soccer when I don't even have a team? If I don't have a team, then maybe I should be being quiet about the circumstance and not try to waste time trying to make it look like I'm on a team when I'm clearly not. It's okay to not participate in the political process. Your ass got a felony. You know you can't participate. Why the fuck are you even talking about politics? Period. Especially when it affects everybody else. There's no need for that. Less of this trolling need to happen when you could just be on the side that you're on and organize on the side that you're on. Mine is with the Democratic Party in Colorado. Why? Because you want to live in liberal areas in Colorado. You do not want to live in conservative areas in Colorado. I want to live by military installations or liberal shit where shit works. I do not want to live in a place in Colorado that can't get the snow off the fucking roads. I do not want to live in a place like that. I do not want to live in a place like that. No, sir. I do not want to live east of the Denver metro area all the way to Lyman. I don't want to be anywhere around that shit where they don't do the roads. All them accidents and all that shit, man. I don't want to be around none of that shit. Listen, I ain't got no problem with conservatism. It's just that my conservatism starts at equal protection under the law. And if you can't get that shit right, then I have no business being with your party. Listen, I know the history. I know what they think. But hey, if y'all want to organize from that position, hey man, more power to you, but you got to coordinate with people. And you cannot coordinate with people who don't have a side. You cannot coordinate with people who are in the middle. Picking a side is very easy. I tell you straight up where the fuck I am. So that way you know. So that way you can know exactly what I'm about. And most of that shit that they think is the first thing that come out of their mouth about gay people and women, like, bro, none of that shit even matters to me. Doesn't matter to me what the fuck gay people getting. Doesn't matter to me what fucking women are getting. I just know what the fuck I'm getting. I can be straightforward and straight honest with you, and I can explain why. A lot of people can't explain why. Did I tell you to not be a Republican? Oh no. Oh no. Get what you can get out of that particular situation where you at. Yeah, there was times where I was a Republican, but I was a military industrial complex Republican. Pretty much I had just had to agree with war because that's where the fucking money came from. For the particular industry that I was in, the defense industry. But see, most people are conservative because they don't like the woman or the outcome of the black environment. I don't like it either, but I'm not going to go over there and start saying stupid shit and just being part of things that I don't need to be a part of. There's no need for that. Again, if you're on the right and you're not talking policy, fuck you. You're not coordinating with anybody. Can't nobody coordinate shit with you. No one can coordinate shit with a Candace Owens. No one can coordinate shit with any woman culture warrior on the right. You can't coordinate anything with them. Why? They're playing the culture warrior grift game. You don't even know what these people think or believe outside of the shit that they say about God and country and guns and stupid shit, man. Ain't nobody got time for that. We got real problems going on here, man. Again, if you're on the right and you ain't talking about what's going on at CPAC, then you're not on the right. There's about to be a civil war in the Republican Party once this CPAC is over. The Conservative Political Action Committee. All these people on the right in this space or who feign that they're on the right because they didn't have to do anything to be on the right, they're not covering CPAC. They're not covering none of those speeches at CPAC. Another thing, people talking about the community. Show me that you have an operational household, and then I'll start listening to your shit about the community. Because when you start talking about community, you mean outsourcing my labor to fix somebody else's problem. That's what you mean by community. You're trying to tell me about this community shit about people's outcomes that I did not contribute to. So we shouldn't be talking about no goddamn community around this bitch. We should be talking about successful individuals and successful households. Fuck a community. There is not a real estate market on this planet that is black. It is black by circumstance. If people come in there and buy them houses and fix them up, it's no longer the black community. Again, it's still based on individual actions. Yeah, but you still got to lobby with somebody, caucus with somebody, Mars Law, even if you are Green Party. So the two major parties are left and right. Doesn't matter whether you're green, doesn't matter whether you're a libertarian, it doesn't matter. You know what type of values you want to live around. You want to live around that small town shit where nothing gets done and you can't even have government services and they don't even believe in government, but they want to keep running for government office. Hey, man, more power to you. I think it's a hell of a lot worse position to start from, but hey, some people make it work. I'm just saying I'm not going to make it work over there. Outside of the community piece, like, nobody should be talking about this dating and relationship shit unless you're a goddamn fool. Never listen to a woman throwing their own gender under the fucking bus for whatever fucking reason. Don't listen to nobody like that. That shit's crazy. If you ain't got no fucking reinforcements as a woman, I'm not listening to you about a goddamn thing when it comes to women or community. I don't even want to hear that shit. What's wrong, Grinch? Yeah. Don't tell me that you the best bitch over there. And there ain't no fucking reinforcements, and I gotta just listen to you, man. Fuck that. Shit, I want to deal with actual motherfuckers I can deal with. Fuck all these. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's part of the program, man. Fuck that. Hey, man, like another thing, man, that we got to get away from is this brotherhood with bullshitters, man. Nah, bro. Show me that you got a track record of staying out of fucking goofy shit. If we can start talking about this brotherhood when you got your shit straight. Like, people want this brotherhood shit when they ain't got their shit straight. You end up putting these dudes on. They end up fucking up your reputation. They end up doing a whole bunch of stupid ass shit just because you gave these dudes a chance, man. Nah, man, bro, fuck that. Deal with professionals. Don't leave more than 10% of your organization to one of these dudes that could potentially fuck your shit up. Me, I have two positions, two nigga positions. That's it. Not put my whole livelihood full of a bunch of these motherfuckers and I'll be outnumbered. I've already been through that shit. It doesn't work. Next thing you know, you outnumbered in your own shit that you built, and now these people got the leverage to take your whole shit down. You do not want to be in a position like that. Deal with professionals. And don't complain that you can't find professionals to work with either. That's some dumbass shit. We're in the age of the internet. You can find professionals. You can find professionals. We ain't got the numbers to be on some black shit right now. There ain't no way we on some numbers on that shit right now. There ain't no way that we got the numbers to deal with that right now. Right now, you need to worry about shit working. Then you can loop back around and do all this dumb shit later. But right now, your shit needs to work. The next order of business that we got to get back to is these motherfuckers claiming that they black manosphere. Bro, listen, you black manosphere by the content that you fucking do. You don't have to go around claiming that you black manosphere. 1 minute you're staying, 1 minute you're leaving, 1 minute the criticism comes down, you got nothing to say. Fuck that. You're black manosphere by the content that you do. All right? There is no the black manosphere is now for entertainment. Like, nah, bro. You on some entertainment shit because you's a whack ass piece of shit and you ain't got nothing to offer to do. So the only thing you got to offer is stagnation. and then you don't even want to debate the shit. That's another thing that I don't get. These people want to change a space into something, but they don't even want to discuss it or debate it in front of anybody. I've never seen some hoe ass shit like that. I've never seen it. Could you imagine me going to the Air Force and then all of a sudden a whole bunch of us get into a fucking squadron? We say, you know what? The Air Force now is about partying. Fuck guarding these planes and these missile silos. We now on some different shit, Air Force. Bro, they wouldn't have that shit. They wouldn't have it. They would not have that shit to save their life, man. Bro, they kick your ass out of there in a heartbeat. Doesn't matter what type of connections that you make behind the scenes, bro. It don't matter. People see the stupid shit that y'all be on, man. They do. They really do. There's no reason not to be productive out here nowadays, man. There's no reason for it. The whole world is looking at how weak than the motherfucker that most of these dudes are on, man. They see how weak these dudes are, man. How weak, lame, and just whack these motherfuckers are. Whack motherfuckers trying to call other people whack motherfuckers. Like, this is shit I don't get. I really think that the lesson that we didn't learn from the 1970's to 2020 is allowing these people to use the woman's level of disrespect toward other men as a weapon against other men. The lack of respect that a woman has showed men within this environment should never be used as a weapon against another man. Period. That shit makes my stomach turn every time somebody try to double back to how much pussy that they can got out of these fucking forgetful ass fucking women. That shit is sickening to me that a man would ever try to use that shit. Hey, look, if the women turn to you for their sexual meal ticket, I don't want to hear nothing about that shit. I don't want to hear nothing about that shit, man. That's on you. That's you deciding to deal with people that you shouldn't deal with. That shit ain't nothing to be proud of. I just rather you keep it to your motherfucking self, man. Because if you tell me about some bitch who done fucking gave your ass his self esteem that you ain't supposed to fucking have on some goofy shit, now I'm telling you, you're gonna end up getting knocked the fuck out. There ain't no reason to be failing nowadays, man. There ain't no reason to be a new child support dude. There ain't no reason for none of that shit. You got all the fucking answers now. Not only do you have all the answers, you have generations of failure right out here in front of your face. That's what I'm saying, Derek McKinney. Look, true man cometh, man. Look, man. A lot of these dudes are so far down that road, they want to get to the end of that road and be on that redemption arc, that suicide mission redemption arc. I finally got my shit together arc. That shit could take 20 years to recover from, man. Yeah. So Ghana, man, I used to see that shit all the time, man. Dudes get out of prison, they get to be a house husband, just laying down the dick to some unfuckable ass bitch, and they think they're the big man on campus, man. I'm like, bro, listen, I don't give a fuck what the fuck you doing with that girl, but you better not come in my face telling me that you some type of big ass dude because you laying it down on this motherfucking woman that you shouldn't be fucking with. Like, bro, you better get your motherfucking head right. That shit ain't no fucking accomplishment to me. You're right, K Dub. There's a whole bunch of information. a whole bunch of information to these dudes to take part in. But the problem is that they still trying to be respected by damn fools before they get to it. And these dudes are trying to get them to like wallow in their damn self pity and lack of sexual access when that stuff don't even mean anything. It doesn't mean shit anymore. How much access you had to these women, bro? Listen, man, that shit has never meant anything. That's a lesson that we didn't learn, man. Letting the dude tell us about how a woman chose them to betray us all as some shit that they should be proud of, and we should knock their fucking head off for. Nah, man. Tell me about how you got to the fucking money, how you changed up your career field in your fucking life, and you did some shit with it. Tell me about that shit. Don't tell me about where you empty your dick at, man. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, what, what am I supposed to do with that type of information, man? What am I supposed to do with that? Yeah, so Ghana, man. Like, I had the motherfucker do the same thing to my brother, man. Yeah, man, that's a couple of my brothers and sisters that I don't talk to. Like, ever since my mom's funeral, man, I don't even fuck with them. I don't fuck with them at all, man. Because a lot of these people don't understand that you don't get mulligans with disrespecting people, man. Yeah. Mars Lowell, listen, man. A lot of them dudes want to make all the time that they spent in jail mean that they was fucking working towards some shit that meant something. That's something that I don't ever want to hear out of none of these dudes, man. Like, bro, I don't care about how much time you spent in prison. I don't care about how many women that you fucking been with. None of that shit is impressive to me at all. I don't care about none of that shit. I don't even care about none of that. Talk to me like I'm a fucking human being, man. Like, don't be trying to tell me about all this dumbass shit that you done got yourself into. Mike, not even not actionable, not even repeatable. This is some stuff that a lot of these people shouldn't even been in. Like a lot of this stuff that these people brag about are circumstances that are horrific. Nobody needs to repeat that dumbass shit. Yeah, so Ghana, man, listen, man, it was easy to avoid him, man. Easy to avoid him. Hey, if I'm in town, I'm like, look, these are the houses that I'm going to. It's best that you don't show up to these places that I'm showing up to. Because if you show up to these places, it ain't gonna be fucking pretty, and I don't give a fuck who's over there. Fuck them. Hey, what's going on, Sigma? Arcana. Whatever happened to your channel, man? Do you still got all them old live streams? Got King? You still got all them live streams? Yeah, man. He was one of the first channels that I had heard when I came to the fucking Man Spirit was God King. Yeah, man. Like once you Drew Man coming, like once you set your foot down in front of like your whole family, that's a conversation that you need to have just one time, man. They get it. They're gonna be talking about your ass once your ass ain't there, but they'll get it. They'll get it. Yeah, man. Like you gotta learn how to stand up for yourself. Like that's something that we lost the art of. The fine art of laying down the fucking law that people are not gonna disrespect you in front of nobody. I tell you right now, man. Somebody fucking do that shit to me and my wife, dude. We out of there. We already have other days planned and all types of shit in they fucking city. Hey, look, we can go to that city. They be on some bullshit. We out of there. We'll go do something else. Because the problem is that things have gotten to the way that it's came to because a lot of people just let people disrespect the shit out of them. They hope people actually got the information that they needed to get and all that stupid shit. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, yeah. Happened to me too. Happened to me too. Yeah, man. Just remember when you was a lame for focusing on school other than bitches? Wow. Yeah. Holy shit, man. This dude came through with the whole Genghis Khan from the steps. Yeah, man, but that's what you got to do, man. Like we really let bitch ass niggas just run wild, man. That's what happened. And the remnants of yesteryear are now trying to create another lost generation of men. That shit's crazy. Like in other cultures, they would never let ancient men try to teach men anything. They would never let failed men try to teach the youth nothing. Nothing. But these people have been around a whole bunch of situations because they was born in some fucked up ass situations. There was men who put themselves in them situations, and now they're just trying to take the kid that they made and trying to turn him into another gynocrat. That's just crazy. Hey man, listen. If I would have stayed my ass in Mississippi, I would have been around a whole bunch of people just like that, Mars Lowell. Listen, people want you to produce right away so that way they can benefit off of it. They don't give a shit about school or any of that stuff, man. They don't care about that. They care about what you can produce right now, what they can leverage off of it right now. They don't understand the work. That's why you don't share it with them. That's why you don't even display it in front of them. You don't try to bait those people to come over there and fuck your shit up. You stay away from these people, man. Stay away from them. Don't show them shit. There's no reason to show them anything. And the final lesson that men did not learn was to put themselves first. All this unsexual discipline shit created a whole bunch of kids that don't nobody want to be with. How many times have you listened to one of these panels? You have one of these highly emotional, unfathered motherfuckers don't know how to act in front of men. Like, dude, that's what we got. We got a whole bunch of these bitch ass niggas around here. A whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of them. Yeah, man. A lot of these people thought that compromising is a one time thing. No, bro. Compromising is a lifestyle, my man. It's a lifestyle. A lifestyle. Yeah, you're right, Guy King. I mean, you're right, man. Listen, man. Shit. Once I started getting them grants, shit, man, bro. Listen, man. I started pocketing that fucking GI Bill money, man. You mean to tell me that you're gonna give me free money for going to school and the military's already paying for this shit? And I get to just pocket the fucking money because I got good grades? The fuck is this? Of course I'm gonna keep going good at school, man. Why wouldn't I? I'd be a damn fool not to take the money. Hey Mars, but just like you, man, I didn't know where that shit was gonna lead to. And nobody was kind of coaching my ass on where to go with the shit either. Especially not in the peer group. Damn. Marcus, Rome Hill Production. Look, first of all, they hold you back until you graduate, and then like as soon as you graduate, they want to benefit off the all the shit that you did, man. Hell yeah, word life, yeah. Shit, that zero down home loan and shit, man, bro. Listen, I ain't turning down nothing. I'm not turning down nothing from that experience. I could have easily got my ass shot in the hood doing the same stupid ass shit. At least I got paid for it. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they'll do that in a minute, guy king. They can't debate. They never had to explain themselves to anybody. Like they just wanted to be an unchecked bitch within the manosphere, dude. Like the manosphere was never supposed to be about being an unchecked bitch. Like, bro, listen, man, turn that shit off and do that shit on your own time, my man. Bro, listen, man, we're trying to run a productive society here, and we couldn't even do that shit right. Why? Because motherfuckers wanted to get live with our problems. I think that shit was crazy. And these people just created their own reality with our own shit. Man, that stuff was wild. So Ghana, man, like that's why I don't even fuck with dudes who don't even vote, man. Fuck that. Dude, listen, I only want to deal with dudes who are fully invested and fully involved in society. I want to deal with people who got shit to lose just like I got shit to lose. If you ain't got shit to lose, then I can't really roll with you like that because I can't be around people with nothing to lose. That's one thing that we need to learn. Stop being around people with nothing to lose. Yeah, it may be hella fun talking to these stupid motherfuckers, but at the end of the day, man, you gotta grow up and stay the fuck away from these dudes. Create a timeline where bullshit is not part of your goddamn diet. Putting up with bullshit or even listening to it, I'm telling you, you get sucked into that shit really quick. The more you expand that circle, the less it operates efficiently. That's what I learned. The more you expand that circle, the less it operates efficiently. Them numbers don't mean shit. Them numbers don't mean a motherfucking thing unless they producing. That dude could have a medical issue or something, Janus Vale, man. Like, man, that's yeah. Yes, K Dub, yes. Even now. K Dub, even now, man. Even now. Even now, it's still some of the best shit. But they too busy trying to go through the hood arc. The suicide mission redemption arc, having a kid with a Keisha and recovering from all that shit, man. That's what they are. That's the arc that they own, man. And once you start seeing people on that arc, dude, listen, man, you gotta step off from that shit. You gotta step off from it. And the opportunities are just gonna keep getting better and better. Like the St. Louis Arc. Yeah. Yep. Poor Passport Bros, man. Bro, they done fucked that whole thing up, man. You got, you got three little Itmore guy representing, jumping into the kiddie pool, saying all types of dumb shit. Yeah. Nagon, listen, man, it take at least 20 years to recover from that shit. If you recover. Even as a productive dude, it's gonna take you 20 years to recover from that shit. And that's 20 years to recover from that situation. Let's say that you still ain't got that Keisha shit out of your system, and you move on to like three or four more other Keishas and having kids by them too. Now your ass is on a 40-year trip trying to get out of this shit, man. But the Drew man coming, a lot of these people came here with no standards and no principles. Hey, no doubt, man. No doubt. Getting a passport and traveling ain't gotta be nobody's business. You go ahead and announce your departure and see how hard things get for you in life. It's best to just leave and travel in silence, man. Yeah, that's what it is. Word life. They they own all the swing sets and all the sliding boards and shit. Like, man, get your old ass out of here, man. You ain't got no business repping passport bros as a 60-year-old dude, man. Fuck out of here. Yep, you're right, man. Who the fuck remove her wrench? The fuck? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah. The problem is that it's truly on you, fucking your whole shit up. It's truly on you now. It's truly on you now. Like, dude, it sounds stupid listening to people talk about the gynocracy and matriarchies and all this shit. I'm like, bro, you don't have to deal with that. Listen, man, if you don't know how to choose women, then don't choose them. Don't choose anybody. These people act like they are forced to deal with bad women. They have no choice to deal with bad women. They gonna deal with a bad woman no matter what the cost is. That's the thing. It's like, dude, all this stuff's optional now. All these things these people put themselves through, optional, not mandatory. Yeah, that stuff is real optional now. That's what I'm saying, man. Bro, listen. Once you start putting yourself in different environments, dude, the women are gonna be there in different environments. There's literally no reason to be in a rush looking for a fucking woman. No reason to be in a rush. Because if you're traveling and moving how you're supposed to move, they're gonna be everywhere. You don't have to pick from like the worst position that you in, especially while you fucking broke. That's why that's why I thought it was just some really weird stuff when I heard these grown ass men who's trying to hold their mythical sexual conquest with mythical bitches online against dudes who didn't have any experience. It didn't make any sense to me. Yes, that's what I mean, K Dub, about them spotting potential and them trying to mess with the self esteem of potentially successful kids. That's what I that's what I brought up earlier. Like them dudes went to school with people who was actually on their shit and didn't really mess with them like that. Moved on to a better life, left them behind, left them in those communities. They keep close tabs on the dudes who are winning. You really think that they want to see another one of them dudes who done passed them up? Hell no. No. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these dudes who ain't moving anywhere, they become dangerous as hell. They become extremely dangerous. You can't let ain't shit people around your good kids or even your bad kids. Nah, man, there be none of that. I used to not understand why my grandfather didn't have nobody coming around. Now I got older, yeah, it makes all the sense in the world now. It makes all the sense in the world now. What's going on, Doc Phoenix? All these lessons, man. And people still ain't learning. They're still not participating in society and they keep wanting to outsource this stuff to other people. Yeah, Erica, them people are dangerous as hell. They are dangerous. Dangerous. Hey, look, man, look. Like my elementary school teacher and my middle school teacher, them ladies was not wrong when they say who's gonna be locked up by what time. Them women had a 100% guess rate on who was gonna get locked up and who wasn't, and they still teach today. Shit, they're like 80 some years old and they still teach. They knew who was gonna get locked up and who wasn't based on how they acted. That's what I'm saying. True man, come listen. Those people know so many. I mean, they've been through it. They've been through it. Especially if you've been teaching 40 something years, 50 years, same school district, same circumstances. They know. But all these people are dodgeable at this point. You could dodge all those people at this point now. That's what they don't tell you. That's a lesson that we didn't learn. We kept trying to make brotherhood and family with people who wasn't even family. Now you got to make family and brotherhood with equals. And that's what them people never wanted you to do. This is why people always try to put that pro black bullshit inside your head. That's why they try to put that pro male shit inside your head. Why? They only want you dealing with a certain type of people that's them. They didn't want you dealing with other groups of people, other types of people, other people with the same mind state as you, because they didn't want to be left by themselves. If you moved on to better people that you can actually do business with in your 20s, imagine where you would be at right now if you're 40 some years old. Most of this stuff I had to do all by myself. I'm telling you, spawn the program, I'm telling you. Because the people who ain't got no future are talking about women. Yeah, man. But a lot of people don't dodge this stuff, K Dub, unless it's unless they didn't felt some type of downfall over it. Hey, Mars Lowell, listen. And there was a lot of those people who left that small ass community in Mississippi. They went somewhere else and they was killed within a week. Yeah, Doc Fitness, all this stuff is alone. All that alone work. You just ain't no find them no live stream and go viral, man. That ain't how that works out here. Leaving to go to the Air Force by myself. Got out by myself. Going to school all them years by myself. Traveling on the road, being a bounty hunter, well, with a group of people, but I was the only person going to school by myself. All them people still doing the bounty hunter shit, man. Bro, listen, I moved on from that shit 20 years ago. They still doing that shit, hating life. Hey, Drew man coming. Yeah, man, that stuff happens, man. That stuff happens. Yeah, Marcel, you're right. And you got to stop using that excuse that, oh, I ain't got the money for school. Like, motherfucker, ain't nobody got money for school. Nobody got money for school. Unless your ass can't actually qualify for student loans. Like, dude, everybody got student loans out here. Everybody do. The point is, are you going to have student loans with no skill and you quit early? Or are you going to actually go get a skill and be able to pay it back? That's what an investment is about. Your ass is not about to go to school for free out here unless you on some scholarship shit or you went to the military. Other than that, you got to go get a student loan like everybody else. A lot of people use that bullshit as excuse not to go skill up. Why? I got to pay for it. Nah, man, it's not how it works. That's what I'm saying, Doc Phoenix. All them type of situations and circumstances by yourself, and the moment you get your shit together, now you got to go back and rescue all these people. Man, get out of my face with that. No. It's time for successful people to enjoy themselves, not worry about all those people that they left behind. If they want to catch up, they better run like hell to catch up. They better run like hell to catch up because I'm not slowing this thing down for nobody. Nobody. And you shouldn't slow down your progress either to help these people out who are not worth it and they are not deserving of it. That's what I'm saying, South Sands, man. Like, bro, listen, man. Like, these people be coming out with these excuses, man. I'm like, bro, listen. When I got out, not the only skill I had was law enforcement, chasing after grown ass motherfuckers that I didn't want to deal with. And then I worked my way out of that to IT and a project manager. Now I'm doing this right here and I love it. There was a time when I did not have my shit together. There was a time when I had no degrees. There was a time when I had no skills, but law enforcement. There was a time. I had to go through the stuff like everybody else had to. Great thing was being a cop in the actual military pretty much prepared me to not have any time off, to work every single day that I possibly could. That's what I did take away from that experience. The work ethic that I built up by not being able to have any days off and have to fit all this stuff into my schedule, dude, I ran circles around people when I got out of the military. I ran circles around people when I got out of the military. Okay, Dub, man, listen, man, you're going to lose a lot of people along the way, and you're not going to finish with your starting team. Drew, man, coming, man. Like, bro, I don't, I don't go out and try to make people come through, man. They know what's right. They know what's wrong. They know what it is. They know what they're chasing down. At this point, they know what they're chasing down at this point. It's easier for me to syndicate my actual stuff to state governments and get those people together in prison or in, you know, juvie rather than try to teach these people. I can make millions of dollars off that shit. I ain't got to do this YouTube shit. I could just put this stuff in the actual program, hand it to somebody, and they have to complete it before they finish their actual stint in prison or juvie hall. Can make money off that shit. Listen, man. I don't have to go after these people who are already lost. A lot of these people know that they lost, and they're trying to make people comfortable at the bottom. All these lessons were supposed to be learned by now. There's no reason why we at the bottom. Hey, listen, I had to learn that shit the hard way, K Dub. I had to learn it the hard way. The hard way. The hard way. You put all this information into a person, next thing you know, they go build their own company and everything you taught them, they didn't put it into action better than you did. Hey, part of the process. I ain't mad at them. Shit, they're supposed to want better. Most of these people gonna be in your life a certain specific short period of time. Trust me, they are going to. Well, let me get up out of here. I got about 6 hours of sleep to go. Got to wake up at 6 a.m. Get this week started. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Most of these dudes are trying to create another lost generation because they lost. They can't participate. They're not gonna get to the money. They're trying to get to the money the easiest way possible. They don't want to try anything. They don't want to participate. They don't want to team up. They don't want to coalition build. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do anything except for outsource it to somebody else. So that way that person can do the job for them. So that way they can just grab it and go like turnpike food. Don't let none of these people get on your team, man. You make them work like hell. Make them work like hell to be on your team, man. If not, hire professionals. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody for coming through. Got 64 people in here. Make sure you like the video upon leaving. I'm the man tomorrow. You guys have a nice rest of y'all weekend. And make sure y'all get ready for this productive week, man. Go do great things out there. Have a nice one.